Hello everyone. In this video, I would like to explain about the SAP reporting, okay, in purchasing. So let us take a requirement. Suppose you wanted to see a list of POs which have completed the GR in a plant or in some plants. How to get that? Same thing, list of POs which haven't completed the GR in a plant, like list of POs, purchase orders POs here, which haven't completed the invoice. Okay, now how do we get all these POs in a single shot? Okay, so SAP has provided one of the best options. Okay, so if you go to SAP here in SPRO, if you go here, logistics under materials management, okay, purchasing, okay, environment. So there are only few reporting here. If I go to here, so you will see reporting. You see here, only few things can be seen, like few transactions. Okay, so SAP has given one of the total node, like whatever you see here, there is some other transaction where you can go for a reporting purpose. That transaction is, if you click SAP1, okay, type SAP1 and say enter. Okay, it will take you to a reporting tool or reporting cockpit. Okay. So it's taking some time. See here, reporting selections. So SAP has reporting selections. It is a reporting cockpit. So cockpit means where you will find all the list of reportings. Now if I go to materials management here, under purchasing, you will see lot of reports. Like for purchase requisition, you see lot of reports, display list of purchase requisition and everything. So list of purchase orders. So based on projects, based on material group, vendor, material. Okay. Similarly, you will have for source list, analysis, info record. So all the reportings, not only for you will see all the reportings in this SAP1 transaction. Okay. Now our requirement is here to get the list of POs. Okay. Now if I go to ME2N, one of the transaction by PO number. Now select as ALV. We need that in a ALV format instead of so like Excel format. You will see in ALV form what we use ALV. Now SAP has provided one option called selection parameters. Now if you see in the selection parameters, it says open GR, meaning so the list of POs which has partial GR or total POs open, meaning partial GRs and total POs open, meaning if my PO quantity, purchase order quantity is 100, if I do the GR for 50, okay, there is open quantity for GR which vendor has to supply, that is nothing but 50. Okay, so similarly if I 100 quantity and so there is no quantity that has been GR, it is 0, vendor did not supply any quantity, he still should supply 100 quantities. These are a few scenarios. Okay, now these things can be seen using the parameters WE101. Okay, now I have given the plant as well. Now I'll try execute. If I execute here, these are the list of POs. Okay, now let me do it in a good format. I'll say remove this and I'll say purchase document there and say okay. Now see here, your PO quantity is this much, to be delivered is this much, meaning there is 10 quantity that should be delivered but 10 has not been delivered. There is 30 quantity that should be delivered by the vendor but he supplied only 24. So still there are 6 that are open, meaning if I go back to PO, if I double click on the PO, you can see that, okay. You can go from here to the PO. If you see the 30 quantity here and he supplied only 24 quantity, still he should supply 6 quantity. So that is why it's showing as the open of 6 quantity. Like this, your PO quantity does not matches with the deliver quantity, then this will work. There are a couple of scenarios where you can, meaning that's some cases. There are some cases like, okay, vendor says he will supply 30, we given the PO for 30, but vendor says 24 only he can supply. Okay, in that case what you can do is, there is no other option you can do, right? Now it will always show in your list, correct? It will always show in your list saying that vendor should apply 24 and vendor should apply. Instead of that, if you mark this as, okay, vendor says he will not supply any more, he will not say any more, okay, then you will say, okay, delivery is completed. You will say delivery completed because vendor says we created a PO for 30 but he said only I can supply 24. Then you will say, okay, then fine, if you are no more delivering the goods, I will say delivery completed indicator and save it. Okay, once I save it, the PO will be moved out of that reporting. Okay, okay, now let me save it. Okay, see here, now if I, what is the PO? 965, right? Let me go back and refresh it and again execute on AD form. See that, okay, that PO has been disappeared from here. Okay, the PO has been disappeared because we have put that there is no other delivery that will be coming because the vendor says he will not deliver. So see, 965 is missing here, meaning except for deliver, if the POs are marked for delivery indicator, those POs will not show here. Apart from that, wherever there is a disturbancy, meaning wherever the PO quantity is not matching with the GR quantity, you will see all the list of POs as an open GR POs whenever you select this parameter. Okay, W101. Now there is, so this is one scenario. So haven't completed, WE101. Now list of POs, the haven't completed invoice. How do you know? So similarly, SAP has provided the same option. Meaning if I go to the selection parameters, if I say F4, if you see here, open invoice. Okay, if I select this open invoice and I say execute, so these are the list of invoices which are not being, these are the list of POs which haven't completed the invoice. Like this, if you see, the quantity is 10, order quantity, but the invoice quantity that should be invoiced, still to be invoiced is, see here, your PO quantity is 10, to be invoiced is 10. Okay, if you see here, the PO quantity is 30 and still 24 should be invoiced. Okay, so in this way what you can do is, you can get this, you can make use of this reporting to see what are the list of open POs which has GR, which haven't GR, which have open invoice. So they have multiple options that SAP has given here, and you can make use of this selection parameters. Okay, you can use. Okay, validator, stock, GR block, stock exist. So 1 or 3. So everything you can see here. Now there is, like, suppose, do you see any vendor here? Supplier you see, okay. Do you see any company code here? Okay, if you know only, so suppose I do not know the plant. I only know the company code. How I wanted to see the list of POs based on company code. Okay, so for that SAP has provided these selection dynamic selections. If you click on that, okay, and if I go to PO header, you'll see lot of fields. Many fields. You can see many fields. Okay, now if I say company code, now I can give the company code here because I do not know the PO. Like this, you can do. There are much scenarios. Like we wanted to see the list of POs created on this date. You wanted to see all the POs, which document type, payment terms, anything. So this is header level. Suppose there is a requirement to see only for the material, like I wanted to see the list of POs only for material, some XYZ or some 10 materials. So this is a selection parameters. You can make use of it, and if you run it, you'll get the report. See here like this. So this is called dynamic selection, meaning whatever you see here are not only the fields. You can make use of these dynamic selections, which are much more important, and there are more fields in this.